Hi, you guys. Hello, my loves. So I am here to share my journey um, in with cervical cancer. And if you're watching this and you didn't know, now you're going to find out that I have been diagnosed with cervical cancer. Still not sure what stage it is and all that right now, but they are saying it's the early stages of it. So, but I wanted to start sharing my journey with it and started to let you guys know kind of um, how I got to the diagnosis, the things that I went through, and how I feel about it, and how I see it. And, I have been journaling. So I have been writing down how I felt and how I've seen stuff, and I'm going to share with you guys what I journal, um, and hopefully it helps and to give you all insight on this particular cancer and just cancer period and health, and the emotions and all that stuff that come with it. So this year has been an absolute lot. Okay. The pandemic, people have died. A lot of things have happened in my life personally. Some, my relationships have changed. Either they've been challenged or they've ended, or they've gotten stronger. This year has, it's tried to take us all out, not just me. This year has tried to take us all out. This year has thrown some things at us to make us kind of give up on, life and give up on God. And, I'm determined to not give up on either. So that is part of the reason why I'm sharing this. Because again, I'll say it. I definitely did not want to share. I definitely wanted to be quiet about everything. But being that my life is very transparent, and being that, God is pushing me, because he's basically like, you cannot be the face of women's empowerment and not share something that affects women. So here I am, sharing and letting you guys know what has been going on with me. I have been having some physical challenges, in the last couple of years, but basically, and more um, significantly this year, I've been having some problems in my reproductive areas. So I have always had some kind of issue in my reproductive area that usually is kind of common, we say, amongst women. I'm not sure about other cultures, but I know in the Black community, we deal with a lot of stuff and we kind of just like, oh, that's normal. We all deal with that, like, heavy bleeding and cramping and all these other kind of pains, cysts on your ovaries and things like that. And we have a lot of women that deal with something that I can't remember the name of it, sorry. You have like polyps or whatever and on your uterus and stuff like that, and they just kind of give you treatment for it, or get rid of the bad tissue or the polyps or whatever. It's all kind of conditions. A lot of stuff that we talk about and a lot of stuff we don't talk about. We just move very silent and just like, hey, this is just a part of being a woman, so I'm just gonna roll with the punches. But this year when I started to have I've always had heavy bleeding, but that bleeding got heavier to me. It felt like it got heavier. And the pain, I started having a little more intense cramping and stuff. So I talked to my doctor about the issues earlier this year, probably like April. I can't really remember. I think it was like April. And they sent me to do an ultrasound. So they sent me to do the ultrasound, and the ultrasound showed no problems. So I kind of just, I still was leery about that, and I still was concerned, but I definitely still was like, I want to get it checked out. I want to look further into it. And so I kept calling around trying to get, answers or whatever, and uh they just didn't see anything. And I kind of let it go a little bit because it was kind of like, okay, if they don't see anything, then it is what it is, you know. So then, like in August, I um I started bleeding in between my cycles, and so I called, and I was still having the pain. So I called my doctor and said, okay, now I think I need to have a pap smear done. And because I hadn't had one, due to insurance coverage and stuff like that, I haven't had one in probably like 2 years. And so now, I had insurance and stuff, and I said, well, I need to, get that done. And so due to COVID, they really were not trying to send me, accept me to do an appointment to have a pap smear. They were really like, we're not doing that right now because of, COVID and the restrictions or whatever, unless we feel like it's very necessary. And so I was like, it's very necessary because I know my body and something is not right. um so um Before I had the pap smear done, I had another ultrasound scheduled as well. And they did two different ultrasounds on me. You have the one that you do on your abdomen, and then you have another one that you do like on your cervix or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what they call it. They scheduled that to be done. I had my pap smear done before that. I had my pap smear done, and immediately when the doctor looked at my cervix, she said that it was inflamed. And she asked me, she said, and this is stuff you should pay attention to. She asked me, had I ever had an abnormal pap smear, and I said no. She asked me if I had pain during sex or bleeding during sex, and I said no to the bleeding, but I would have pain, But it was kind of like I would work through it, didn't think much of it or whatever, and just keep it moving. And so she did, the pap smear. She kept on doing the pap smear, and she said that they found abnormal cells. And so, but they said they were not concerned about cancer, but they were going to test it, and then they were going to get back to me. And if it was just abnormal cells, they could just do a small procedure where they just remove the abnormal cells off of the cervix. So, and then I will be fine. So, okay, you're saying that, you don't think it's cancerous or anything serious. I just have the procedure done and be fine, after they get rid of the abnormal cells. I had the ultrasound done, and then I got the results of the ultrasound, and they told me they found nothing too. And I said, now wait a minute. All of y'all are not gonna keep telling me that you don't see anything, you haven't found anything. There is something wrong. So I don't accept that. I don't accept that. And this was the nurse that called me. So the nurse said, okay. And I told her about the abnormal pap smear, and I told her about the pain. I told her about the bleed. I said, there's something wrong. So I'm not going to accept that there's nothing wrong. And so so she took my message and she passed it on to the doctor, because in the appointment that I had with the doctor before the ultrasound, he too said he wasn't concerned about cancer or anything, that if anything was wrong, I probably would just have to do like birth control to handle the problem, or this thing they call ablation, where they go in and they burn off tissue or whatever, and or hysterectomy. So in my mind, I'm already like, I'm getting a hysterectomy because at this point, I don't need it. Okay. So they the doctor then calls me to tell me let me go back. I then go back to get the results of my pap smear, and they say that they found something called HPV, and HPV is it's called human papilloma virus. Please go look it up. Please go look it up. And that is one of the reasons why I kind of didn't want to talk about it, because HPV is sexually transmitted. But the thing with HPV is, okay, before you look at me left, okay, the thing with HPV is it's so easy to contract, and anyone could have it, and it will lie dormant in your body for years, so you would never know where you got it from. So because I trust my husband fully, that was not a question. That something, and even if it was, again, it could have been dormant in his body and he never knew about it. So that HPV is the only way that you can contract. I'm sorry, not contract. The only way that you can have cervical cancer. So I'm saying that too to let you know, the HPV vaccine, please give it to your children. I know a lot of people are against vaccinations and stuff, but one thing about me, I've always been down for vaccinations. All my children have been vaccinated up, because when I realized that from a childhood, now that nobody has had chicken pox and people don't have measles and mumps and all that kind of stuff, vaccinate me, please. Okay, send it on over. So my children, I immediately went and checked their records, and they have had their HPV immunization shots. And being that I'm older and they didn't present that until I had my children, that was not something that I got. So I haven't had it. But if you're able to get it, adults, children alike, if you're able to get it, talk to your doctor about it and make sure you get vaccinated for that, because that is the only way you can prevent HPV. So I just wanted to drop that little tidbit in there, okay? So yeah, the doctor told me that's what they found from my specimen after my pap smear or whatever, and that kind of sent me into a little worry mode, because I'm like, wait a minute, I got a sexually transmitted disease, and the doctor reassured me that it was a form of it and it's very common. So you could have it right now and not even know about it, because a lot of people can have it and it just cures itself, or it could just lay down dormant in your body and you never see symptoms, because I never had symptoms. The symptoms that I had, the bleeding and the pain, had nothing to do with HPV. So the only way you can find out about it is if you get a pap smear, and men can't, they don't have a test for men that I've researched. And even when I asked my doctor, I said, well, do I need to tell my husband about it? And she said, no, it's really nothing that you can really even do about it. They can't really help men, they don't have a treatment for men, from what she told me. Now if there's something else out there, then hey, I don't know, but that's what she told me. And in my research of it, that is true. And there's not really a way to tell if they have it, but women, make sure you're getting your pap smears. Make sure you're going faithfully to the doctor to get your pap smears done. And if they say it's abnormal, but they're not concerned about cancer, still look more into it, because abnormal is not okay. Don't let these doctors just tell you something is abnormal, like, oh, we're not concerned, it's okay. No, abnormal is not okay. So still get it checked out, okay? So let's see. I had to write this stuff down so I wouldn't forget. Okay. So then I talked to my doctor, the one that did the ultrasound, and I talked to him. And then now they say once they looked at the ultrasound or whatever, I'm not sure if the nurse got her notes wrong or what, I don't know. But all of a sudden they found something. So they said they saw that I had a condition called endomyosis, something like that. ADENOMYOSIS. It's a condition where your uterine tissue grows into your muscle. So that's where my pain and bleeding was coming from. So we decided that I was going to get a hysterectomy, because I don't need to have an ablation. I don't need to have birth control to kind of control it. I just want to go. Okay. And since we got the HPV and the abnormal cells or whatever going on, we can get rid of all that in one shot. Okay. Let's just go ahead and let's just get it done. Okay. So I opted to do that. So we got ready to schedule the hysterectomy. So I went in to and let me back up a little bit again. Make sure you're sharing your information, your medical background with your doctors, because the only reason that we found any of this is because I shared what my other doctor said about my pap smear and with the things with my hysterectomy, and because those are two different issues, that's how I found out. So when I went in for my pre-op, because of that abnormal pap smear that my doctor knew about, he said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a small biopsy to just make sure that it's not cancer. And he reassured me that he didn't believe it was cancer. He don't think it was cancer. He just want to do it as precaution, because if I have the hysterectomy done and there is cancer there, it won't tackle the cancerous cells. So got the biopsy done, and a week later, I get a call, and the results were that they found dysplasia, and looked that up, dysplasia in my cervix, and possible precancerous cells. So instead of the hysterectomy that I was supposed to get, I had to get something that's called a cone biopsy. And this is where they go in and they had to take a bigger specimen. They had to take a bigger piece of my cervix to test it out. So that meant that I would have to literally be put to sleep as if I was having a full surgery and get that done. So this is when I went into a depression. This is when life just kind of went black for me. This is when I just legit was kind of like, what? Like, what are you saying? You know, I've never heard precancerous cancer, anything with anything I've done. Like, I've never heard that with my name. Like, I never heard that. So it was tough, you know, to hear that, and then not knowing. The unknown can be so scary. So then not to know, it was scary. So it sent me into this place. I was crying, I was upset, I was confused, I was lost. Like, I just didn't even know what to do. Like, all kind of things started circling in my head. I did not expect this news at all. I thought I was on my way to getting rid of my problems by just having this hysterectomy and I'll be all good. So it has totally changed my path and what I was going to do and what I thought was going to happen. That totally changed. So a week after the second biopsy, I get a call and I am told that I have early stages of cancer, cervical cancer, and that I need to see an oncologist now. Say what now? This is literally probably how I was looking, because I remember the doctor asking me, hey, you have any questions? You have any concerns? So I really have nothing for you right now, because I was so blown. I did not expect, because again, the doctors was shocked that, you know, I would even have to have the biopsy, because he really didn't believe that there was cancer there. But again, he wasn't an oncologist. So he's kind of just going off of what, you know, he sees. So it was just a very strange moment, and it just really just kind of just blew my mind, you know. And then trying to share that news with my family and my friends, it was, you know, really tough. It was really tough to do, you know, and that's why a lot of people found out from social media. Because once I started telling people and trying to talk about it, I just got tired of repeating the story, you know, and tired of, hey, do I need to reach out to so-and-so and reach out to them, you know, and I was concerned about people that would find out from social media and feel some kind of way, but really, honestly, I know it's probably gonna be bad to say, but I kind of don't care. Because once you've gotten a diagnosis like that, it's kind of like, hey, your feelings don't even matter right now. Your feelings don't matter. Like, I'm going through the fight of my life. All I need you to do to either be here or not. That's all I need. For you to pray or not. That's all I need. That's all I need from you right now. So, being that I'm used to being on the other side of this thing, being that I'm used to being the one encouraging people through this kind of stuff, and helping people through and being their support system, and to now be in those shoes, it was so absolutely tough for me. The sadness overtook me many times. I was upset. I would wake up in the middle of the night crying. I would wake up yelling at God, mad at God, like not understanding. I'm like, I try to be this good person. I try to do right by people, and this is what happens to me. Like, I went through a whole lot, of back and forth and feeling certain types of ways or whatever. And I went through a moment where even, the people around me were trying to get me to be the Toya that's rah, 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 and the Toya that's always, pushing people and supporting people and encouraging people. And I just didn't see it. And you have to let people go through that. You have to let people have those moments, because if they don't have those moments, then it will turn out to be worse. And you don't want to see the bad side of that. So let people have their moments when they're dealing with stuff like this, and let them just process it how they process it, because you trying to tell them how to process it only kind of make things worse. So just let them work through it. Let them have their moments. Let them be upset. Let them be sad. Let them be mad. Let them have them. And one thing about it, I tell people, oh, let me have this moment, because I'm usually the strong one. I'm usually the one that's trying to push through. Let me have it. Okay. So, So, there are many dark moments. There are many moments where I don't know what I'm going to do. Are my friends and family going to be okay? Are my children going to be okay? How's my husband going to feel? Like, all that kind of stuff has gone through my head. And it caused me to grieve the people that have been through cancer before and going through cancer. Because I'm like, God, is that what they thought? Is this how they felt? Like, oh my God, like, this is too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's a lot. It takes a lot to deal with this, So I just really have been taking it day by day and trying to process it. And like I said, yes, I have been sad and mad and all those negative feelings. I've had those. Right now I'm good. People y'all have been reaching out to me and stuff, and I'm good. I'm good right now. I am okay. Right now they still don't know, what stage it's in. They still don't know what the next steps are going to be. But I had to share my story because, again, God was kind of pressing me. Even when I was starting to share, God pressed on me, and God was, saying that I had to bring awareness to it, and I had to encourage those that have been through it. And I have gotten so many messages and calls and things from people who have been through this and that I never knew, and people that have dealt with something similar. And I've gotten calls and messages from people who have family members that have gone through cancer, and they just really kind of don't understand, what to do, or and let me help you and reassure you. You not knowing what to do is okay. Just be there. We may not share all the time how we feel. We may not show you that we're sad. We may not have those raw emotions in front of you because we're trying to kind of spare you, but just be there. Just be there. Just support us. Just stand in the gap for us. Be strong where we're weak, Just be strong where we're weak. Just, be there. Just be there and sending an encouraging word every now and then, sending love and support. You guys are amazing. You guys rock, because you guys have been sending me love and support since I said that I've been going through this, and I so appreciate it. I so appreciate the calls and the texts and all that. Y'all make girl feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And to the ones that have been through cancer and going through cancer, thank you so much, because sharing those tips and tools with me, I appreciate it. I appreciate the Moniques and the Rays and all that. I appreciate you guys for reaching out to me. That means so much, and it really helps ease my mind a lot. Knowing your experience and what you've encountered and what you've seen, it really, really helps me. And to those that have been through this, sharing your stories with me and trusting me with that means so much, and I am so grateful to know that I'm not in this alone. My family, oh my God, my family, you guys are amazing. Let me tell y'all something about this husband of mine though, real quick. I gotta tell y'all, amazing. Okay, he is everything. And this is why I tell people, do not base your relationship on, test driving someone's body and saying, oh, I got to see what they're working with and all this kind of stuff. Because what if you're in a situation where they're not able to perform? What if you're in a situation where they get sick? When you're looking at finances, what if that changes? You never know. So in our relationship, it's based more, and I know we talk about it a lot, and y'all get tired of us because we always talking about the sexual part of our life and being intimate. That's because it is important. I'm not gonna lie, it is important and it is great, but that is not the end all be all. And our relationship it has more substance than that. So we've been able to survive. We've been able to get through. And I thank God for that, for the substance that we have. And this man has been holding me up. This man has been being there. He has been standing in the gap. And my mom and my siblings, you guys are amazing. I absolutely love y'all. When I have my meltdowns, y'all are there. My sister runs over here. My sisters, they are there to stand in the gap. I appreciate it. My friends, you guys rock. So yeah, my friends, I am really truly blessed with friends and family who have definitely been my rock. You all have held me up. You all have let me cry out, scream it out, whatever I needed to do. I appreciate that, because this is a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. Right now, today is a good day, and right now while I'm recording this video is good. I really thought that I wasn't gonna make it through it without crying, but I did. But if I don't say anything else through this, and again, my husband, I just bless God for him that, he's been standing tall and strong through all of this, and he doesn't make me feel like I'm just a body. He doesn't make me feel like I'm less than, and I appreciate that. And everyone that has been on my team, I appreciate that. And like I said, if I don't say anything else, please make sure that you are taking care of yourself, and make sure that when you have problems and you feel like something is wrong, you tell your doctors and you press your doctors until they do something about it. And make sure you take notes. Take notes when you feel like something is wrong. You take notes when it started, what happened. Nothing is too small. Nothing is not big enough. Like, make sure you're keeping track of that. And when you go to your doctor's appointments, make sure you're taking notes. And make sure you're talking to the people around you. Like, some of my friends are healthcare professionals, and they definitely enlighten me on some things, and I appreciate that. I am grateful, and I'm glad I opened my mouth. I'm glad I pressed my doctors. I'm glad I shared my medical history and that kind of stuff, because who would have known if I did not do that I would have still been dealing with cancer and not even know about it. God is amazing, y'all. God is good, y'all. God is everything, okay? Some of these things we don't even think about, because again, I really didn't have symptoms of that. So the symptoms that I did have, that was because of something else, led me to finding this out. So guys, take care of yourself. Reach out to your doctors. Do what you need to do. Family and friends of people who are going through, make sure you're just there. Just be there, and make sure you're choosing who's going to be around you wisely. When you're thinking about being in a relationship with somebody, make sure you're choosing wisely, because you need to be able to have somebody that's able to stand tall and strong through all this stuff. Pay attention to the people around you, because being that I paid attention to people that had cancer before and currently have cancer, I paid attention to them, and one of the people I would say to the end of time that saved my life and helped me bring awareness for myself was Tiffany Ortiz, because knowing her story and the things that she shared with me made me say, oh no, I'm not taking this, and oh no, I'm not gonna just let you tell me anything. And because they still don't know, because I had that biopsy done in November, and I've been to multiple doctor's appointments and talked to doctors multiple times, and they still don't know exactly what stage it is and what treatment I need to have or whatever. I am looking for different doctors because I really just am not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with that. So, one thing about what I have learned is, hey, if you're not comfortable, change it, because this is my life, and I can't sit around and let y'all drag y'all feet, just because they're saying it's slow progressing and it's the early stages and all that kind of stuff. Uh, this is still my life, and if I can treat it real quick while it's real early enough that I don't have to do all the other extreme stuff, let's do that. Let's not waste our time. Let's not take forever. So yeah, but you guys continue to pray for me. You guys continue to send love. You guys have called. You guys have texted, and I so appreciate it. If you want to visit me, that is fine. I appreciate it. I love it. I really appreciate you all. You guys are so great. Keep me in your prayers. And if you have tips and tools and all those kinds of things, you can share those with me. I'm always open to those things. Because again, I don't know anything about cancer. But I love you guys, and I just really want to bring an awareness to this thing, and I really want you go get checked up. Get your yearly checks. Make sure your children are getting, because I think even if you are a virgin, because you should get them done whenever you lose your virginity, make sure you go get your screenings done every year, your pap smears. They say it's okay to do it once every 3 years, but I don't know. I don't know. But get them done every year. And even if you haven't had sex, if you're a virgin, I think they still recommend that you get pap smears done like when you turn like 21 or something like that, but I can't remember the actual age. But yeah, make sure you're paying attention to your body, and make sure you're alerting your doctors to it, and make sure you stay on top of your doctors and make sure that they do what they need to do. And if they don't want to do what they need to do, go to another doctor. Make sure they refer you to specialists, because what I have learned in this scenario is my gynecologist saw one thing and didn't think it was something, but an oncologist is a totally different doctor who specializes in cancer. And then it's the kind of oncologist I need. I need a gynecological oncologist. It's a lot, Lord. And then finding out about this cancer, not knowing if it's a stage 1. Then I learned there's different levels to each stage. There's a stage 1A, and then 1AB, and 1A2 or something like that. It's a lot, people. It's a lot, and there's different treatments you can do, and all. It's a lot. Okay, so just keep your girl up in your prayers, okay? I thank you guys for paying attention and enjoying. Keep looking out, because like I said, I'm journaling this whole journey and this process, because I feel like people should know and really understand and try to understand what's in the mind of a cancer diagnosis, and bringing awareness to cervical cancer. I want to bring awareness to that, especially because it affects women. I want to really bring awareness to that. So I will definitely continue to share. And I will see you guys the next time. Bye, guys. Bye, my loves.